It's time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook.
He's still mad over the Little Richard reference.
Which one?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
You big Little Richard guy?
Wabapa, bam, boom.
I don't look like a Little Richard.
Not a. Not a Little Richard, the Little Richard.
You're acting like a Little Richard.
That's not.
You're
that
not
had
looking like the
that
Little
had
Richard.
not a darn thing to do with what I said. Wow.
Make sure you get out to the Warhorse Sportsbook in Lincoln today for the Monday
You're still
night
mad about the first segment.
tailgate drawings every Monday in September. So this week and next week, 8 and 9 p.m. drawings for Yeti coolers, free slot play, and tickets to see the Chiefs play on October 7th. You will be eligible if you are there to win. Make sure you get to warhorsecasino.com for all information you need on that. No, I'm not mad about the first set. I'm fine.
What did we named him? He went from Jimmy to Denny.
Yeah, Denny, because he's being a downer.
I'm not Denny.
He's being a
Downer.
He's being a downer. Knock it off, Denny.
You know one thing you could bet on during this segment.
What's that?
Is the fact, because you referenced watching the Chiefs play, that people will be mad at any call the Chiefs get, even if it's legit.
Yeah.
That was clearly pass interference.
100%.
Like, what are we talking about?
I'm gonna get mad about something again.
Oh my gosh, again?
So can we just this is a thing that's been happening a lot in sports, but also in society. Just because something happened that we don't like, this happened on the opening, on the Lively catch in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, the toenail's
Likely?
out. Yes. I always want to say Derek Lively, and I don't know why.
You have sharks on the brain. You're thinking actresses. Blake.
No, I'm thinking former Duke basketball players, Derek Lively.
Yeah. He looked like everybody else, Bagley and the rest of these
they just recruited the exact same guy for 10 years.
Yeah.
No, something doesn't go your way, and all of a sudden it's rigged. Oh, it's rigged. It's like, no, sometimes you just lose. That's life, man. Not everything's going to go your way. The world's not out to get you. Friggin' chill.
Like
it was a penalty. It was a penalty yesterday on the Bengals.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was a penalty.
It was a penalty.
It's not rigged. It's not because, like, oh, they want Taylor Swift to be on TV more. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, face of the league. No, it was pass interference. What do you want me to do?
You know the funny thing.
You want them to not call it because it's the Chiefs?
And are we going to really act like they didn't hand the ball to Carson Steele with time to move the ball to settle for a 51-yard field goal?
Yeah.
Who does that other than teams that expect to win?
And that really like their kicker.
Right. What was there ever a question that wasn't going in?
It was always going in, 100%. Zero. And no one,
these dudes played it safe
to get to a 51-yard field goal.
For a 51-yard field goal.
Because they're like, yeah, this is money.
Yeah.
Money in the bank.
It's incredible.
It's not rigged, Bengals fans. You pass interfered.
You shake my hand. If that guy has the ball last,
you
there's
lose.
A good chance they're winning.
I know. I was watching the Super Bowl, and I was like, dear God, don't let him have the ball last. It's the only thing I cared about was Patrick Mahomes not having the ball last against my team in the Super Bowl.
So you can definitely bet on
if Mahomes has the ball last, you're losing.
You could the X will go crazy if it's the Chiefs.
Yes, even if it's legitimately a penalty.
Clearly Chiefs fatigue.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
They're good, man.
Penalties are penalties, whether you like the team or not.
And the Bengals need to share some ownership in that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a giveaway.
100% a giveaway.
It's still mind-boggling. Though.
Like, we're just going to... Mind-boggling?
Yes.
It's all bottled up in their mind.
Here's another thing that you can
That's the other thing I loved about the rigged crowd. They just ignore all the BS that they screwed up.
Oh, I know.
Right? It's like, oh, no. It's like the Bengals played a perfect football game. Yeah. And it wasn't until that pass interference that it all went to crap.
And I get it. I'm sick of the Chiefs winning too, but I'm not.
You can't be mad at it. Just go beat them.
I'm not mad. That's a good football
get used to it because it's going to be that way for like the next 5 years.
Now, I don't know about that.
It's going to be like that this year.
Wow, that's just penciling in the Chiefs?
I mean, I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to win a lot of games, whether that ends up in another title or not. I would guess not, because nobody's three-peat before, so that's really hard to do, obviously.
Well, you would hope that they would get complacent, but apparently they're mad that they get this kind of treatment.
Yeah, it's not the complacency I'm worried about. If you need an incredible amount of injury luck to win a Super Bowl. And are they going to have that again or not? That's what matters. I think that's going to, like, are the right guys going to be healthy at the right time for them to pull this off?
You want to know something else you can bet on?
What's that?
During our Warhorse segment?
What's up?
That a team won't be in the red zone 7 times and only score once.
That's so hard to do.
Shane.
That is so hard to do.
He's on the phone. Do you know who was in the red zone 7 times and only scored once?
That's so hard to do.
A coach that almost cried at the podium.
Bills.
Campbell.
Oh, that's right. Detroit.
They were in the red zone 6 times with no points.
Yep. That's really hard to do.
In a league where kicking appears to be fairly automatic.
If you've got one of the guys, if you don't, it's hard.
You were in the red zone 6 times?
They were in 7 times. They went out scoreless, 6 of them.
Like, you talk about a team that had no business losing. How would you like to be Detroit?
They lost by 4.
How about them apples?
They lost by 4 points. They went scoreless in 6 of their 7 red zone trips.
And you know what else almost happened?
What's that?
Mayo almost locked up Coach of the Year. In week 2.
He almost did. God, they for the lack of talent on that roster, they should be so much worse than they look. And it's not pretty, don't get me wrong, but
no,
they're competitive.
It's horrible.
They're competitive, though. I'll give them credit there. You know what else you can bet on?
That Jerome almost needed to be resuscitated if Tennessee would have beat the Jets.
We almost needed a wellness check by him getting beat by Will Levis.
I mean, again, another quarterback that threw for less than 2 bills.
This might be.
I mean, he's no Justin Fields.
Right there.
Who is? Really nobody. He's kind of a unicorn in the league.
And I don't even know why I'm laughing, because I think Rodgers only threw for like 180 or 178 or something like that.
It wasn't impressive.
Like, what's going on?
It was less than Levis. He threw for less than Levis.
What's going on with this statistical output?
It's weird. We had a couple 300-yarders this week, but it was still weird. You know what I would also bet on? Packers Colts might be the worst quarterback play you see all year in one game.
How about how one-handed was Green Bay and the Colts still let them? If Green Bay didn't have 34 penalties in the first 12 plays, that thing might have been way over.
I know that we get enamored with the physical attributes of Anthony Richardson. He's a lot like the guy we saw at Florida who wasn't very good for a lot of the time.
Maybe. Hard to be a worse version of Lamar Jackson and think that you're going to win meaningful games.
Do you remember who I compared him to at the beginning of the season or during preseason?
No.
Said,
when you say it, I will.
He said he's Joe Milton with less tape.
Yeah, you did.
There's a flock going on.
You did say that.
We saw way too much.
He got beat by Malik Willis.
Yeah, who shouldn't beat anybody. Malik Willis is not even a functional backup in the NFL.
I mean, go Coach LaFleur.
Malik Willis got pulled mid-drive in a preseason game.
He got pulled for a guy that we don't even like in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Will Levis.
Yeah. Yeah. A guy that couldn't beat out Sean Clifford at Penn State. And we know we don't like Sean Clifford, but all of a sudden we like Will Levis.
Yeah.
Malik Willis couldn't win a job at Auburn.
Levis is still throwing the ball to the other team.
For a guy at Bo Nix, right? Bo Nix and Will Levis Bo Nix and Malik Willis both at Auburn at the same time. Sean Clifford, Will Levis both at Penn State at the same time. The guys that won those jobs we don't particularly like, but the guys that lost those jobs we think could be starters in the NFL.
So we also know that apparently quick game doesn't work in the NFL. We asked if Sean Payton could make a living with Bo Nix 1, 2, 3.
He cannot.
Man.
He cannot. Bo Nixon makes bad decisions.
Well, it reminded me a little bit of watching Deshaun Watson, and they got to win. Do you know what the average completion was for him? Or pass attempt? It was I think it was 4-4.
I would have guessed under 5.
That's incredible.
He's terrible.
They won,
And
they beat your generational talent,
listen,
who hasn't won since Thanksgiving.
Talent does not equal production. He's incredibly talented. He's pretty bad at football.
Go look at his first half stat.
Oh, I know. He was like 4 for
5 of 11, I think.
Yeah, it was like 4 for 10 or 5 for 11 for 16 yards.
Balling.
I mean, Jamarcus Russell was pretty talented too.